A jigsaw puzzle is something that you were children once upon a time, weren't you? And you did play with jigsaw puzzles. A jigsaw puzzle is something in which you have lots of bits and pieces, each one with a little picture or part of a picture. And you have to use some measure of insight to put the pieces together. By studying each individual piece, and if you succeed in putting all the pieces together, then you will see the whole picture. You know me, that for 15 years or more, I have been saying that the US dollar is going to collapse. I've been saying more than that the US dollar must collapse. How did I know that the US dollar must collapse? And with it, that the US dollar, the US economy would crash. In 2004, in a lecture in Trinidad on Dajjal, which is all over YouTube, I used the words flying high. You're flying high now, but tomorrow the crash is coming. That was 7 years ago. And that when the crash comes, it's going to bring down the entire monetary system. It's going to bring down all the paper money in the world. This, you know, the stuff that we have in our pockets, the bogus, fraudulent, utterly haram paper money. The US dollar is now in a place called ICU, in a hospital, intensive care unit. It has actually expired and is being kept alive artificially by this pump that they use. You see the chest going up and down. But the plug is soon going to be pulled, and then it will be pronounced dead. And the US government knows that very well. That if Israel attacks Iran, that's it. The price of oil shoots up. The implication is that the US dollar is heading down. And they know that an attack on Iran is going to be the final nail in the coffin for the US dollar. That's why the United States does not want Iran to be attacked, my opinion. If the US dollar collapses, then automatically the US economy will crash. There is going to be such massive financial loss in the United States in particular. Panic in the United States of America, and riots in the United States of America. They might have to declare martial law in the United States. It's going to create panic in the weak currency areas of the world. You know, the world is divided into two kinds of haram paper money. Indonesian rupiah, the Bangladeshi taka, the Pakistani rupee. There's going to be panic as people struggle and rush to dump their paper because the price of bread is climbing every hour. Runaway inflation. We are now on the brink of momentous and indeed monstrously evil change in the world as never before, ever before experienced in human history. A number of things are taking place at the same time now. And I want to introduce you to some of these pieces of the jigsaw puzzle. Additional to the economic and financial and monetary crisis of the moment, there's something else happening since 9/11. A proliferation of wars in different parts of the world, mostly the world of Islam. And if you notice something, in nearly all of these wars, or in fact in all of these wars, it is Uncle Sam. It is Uncle Sam who has to send his troops most of all. The American military is involved up to its throat. I want to suggest to you that the economic and financial crash is coming at a time when an American military crash is also going to take place. It's not just the US dollar that's going to crumble. No. That the United States has been led by its nose to a trap where it will overextend itself. And the one that is leading the United States, I hope they're listening to me in the American Armed Forces, the one who is leading the United States to a military trap are the Zionists who control the US Congress and the state of Israel. As soon as Israel attacks Iran, and I am anticipating that Israel would not want to deliver a knockout blow to Iran, because Israel wants Iran to remain strong. Why? Because Israel knows that Iran is going to respond by attacking the American troops in Iraq, where Iran has the advantage of geographical position. And Iran has a second advantage of the majority of the population of Iraq will be supporting Iran because they are Shia. And even the Sunni in Iraq would want to use this opportunity to deliver the death blow to the United States, in particular, and to NATO in Iraq. And so the implication of an Israeli attack on Iran is that the United States is going to be back to the wall in Iraq, fighting for survival. I have also suggested, and remember, I can make mistakes, and I have made mistakes in the past. I am anticipating that Iran will also attack and take Bahrain, which should not be easy for them. It should not be difficult for them. And once Iran takes Bahrain, remember again the same situation, that in Bahrain the overwhelming majority would be in support of Iran, and a small and strange minority of oppressors would be opposing Iran in Bahrain. So Iran will have the majority population of Bahrain on its side, because they're mostly Shia. Once Iran takes Bahrain, then Saudi Arabia, which is now, after India, Israel's most strategic partner in the world. Saudi Arabia will now call on the United States. It's probably already prearranged. Maybe they have a secret defense treaty. And the United States Congress will ensure that the United States Army, armed forces have to respond and send American troops into Saudi Arabia. And guess what's going to happen? The United States, I am anticipating, is going to face military defeat in Saudi Arabia and Iraq from Iran, because the advantage is on the side of Iran. And if the United States uses nuclear weapons, that's it for Uncle Sam. And so we're seeing not only a financial crash taking place, but also a military crash about to take place. The wars that the United States have been waging, particularly since 9/11, and the monstrous lies which they've had to tell about 9/11. You know, I have said that there are three kinds of lies. You heard it? There are ordinary lies, and then there are great lies, and then there's 9/11. The only people who are now holding on to 9/11 and the official explanation of 9/11 are your governments and your newspapers, you know, mainstream newspapers and television stations are, who know that they cannot cross the line. They are slaves and servants